Hi there, I'm Brian and this is Gary. We're 2/5 of the privacy and security startup Disconnect. In this video, we'll show you three things. First, what we think is the biggest security threat to most web users. Second, a new vulnerability that increases the threat. And third, a feature we just implemented in Disconnect that defends against the threat. When you use a wireless network, your computer or mobile device sends and receives data the same way a radio does. Unless the data is encrypted, anybody else with access to the network can tune in to view your web browsing history, read your email messages, steal your credit card info, and so on. Plain old web data is transferred over a protocol abbreviated HTTP. Encrypted data is transferred over HTTPS. Although wireless networks may add a layer of encryption themselves, there are tools that can crack their encryption schemes. Financial and healthcare websites are pretty good about forcing you to use HTTPS across all their pages. A few major social sites, these being Google, Facebook, and Twitter, began letting you opt in to always use HTTPS in the last couple years. But if you don't opt in on these sites, or you go to other sites, only login pages tend to require HTTPS. Since the site will set cookies to authenticate you after you log in, an eavesdropper could get your cookies when you visit any non-login page. The cookies could then be used to break into your account, which is called sidejacking. Sidejacking is a well-known attack. What's not well known is your accounts on Google, Facebook, etc. can be hijacked through social widgets, even without you going to these sites. The risk is greatest when you use a public wireless network, which has no extra encryption, like at an airport, library, or coffee shop. Gary and I are going to demonstrate the 2 steps needed for an attacker to take control of a Facebook account from a victim who hasn't visited Facebook. I'll be the attacker, and Gary will be the victim. We think understanding how quickly and easily a non-expert can compromise your security is important, and of course Gary has consented to this demo. Otherwise, what I'm about to do might be considered wiretapping where you live and shouldn't be tried at home. You can see I'm logged into Facebook as myself right now. In a minute, I'll be logged in as Gary, and posting on his wall, breaking up with his girlfriend, and poking Mark Zuckerberg. Step 1 is inspecting the traffic on the network we're using, which I'm going to do with a program referred to as a packet sniffer. I have to tweak the program's capture options to make sure my wireless card is active and in promiscuous mode, so traffic besides mine is intercepted. I'll filter out non-web traffic next and start intercepting. Meanwhile, Gary is browsing Reuters.com. The homepage includes a Facebook widget. I'm going to find the request for the widget in the packet sniffer, where I can copy Gary's exposed Facebook cookies to my clipboard. Step 2 is modifying my cookies, which I'll be doing with a graphical database interface. Chrome and Firefox keep their cookie database under the library and application support folders on a Mac. I'm going to swap my Facebook cookies with the copy I have of Gary's. Cookies consist of name-value pairs separated by equal signs and semicolons when formatted in a request. So I'm substituting the copied value for each name. After saving my changes, you'll see I'm logged into Facebook as Gary. The Firefox add-on Firesheet used to be able to simplify this attack further by combining the 2 steps into one. Our app Disconnect was created to stop third parties and search engines from tracking your browsing and search history. By default, Disconnect already blocks common social widgets that leak your cookies. We want you to be protected when you unblock widgets or go to a social site directly too, so we're releasing the secure Wi-Fi feature. Whenever possible, the feature will encrypt the data you exchange with the major sites in Disconnect and related sites such as YouTube and their widgets to prevent eavesdropping. There are browser extensions with similar security functionality. You may have heard of NoScript or HTTPS Everywhere. These extensions are powerful, but prone to break pages by unintentionally blocking elements, and they aren't cross-browser compatible. One of our design principles is don't break the web. So we use a bit of clever code to fall back to an HTTP resource when the HTTPS version doesn't work. We're also limiting disconnect to a small, well-tested list of sites, which we plan to expand as we thoroughly test additional sites. The security feature is available for Firefox and Chrome, with support for encrypting full pages and embedded widgets, and for Safari with support for encrypting some types of widgets. To get disconnect, go to disconnect.me. And to find out more about the widget vulnerability, go to our blog from there.